Hi, welcome to Doris. In case if you're new here, my name is Doris. I'm a mom of four. Come along with me as I learn how to budget and how to take care of my family as a single homeschool mom of four. So we are going to go to August. I put a penny in that way it's easy for me to reach there. But this is what we're going to be working on for August budget. Back here, this is my July budget, and I have a video on my channel if you want to see what I'm trying to do. If you want to watch that to give me any kind of helpful hints on how I can improve my budgeting, please do so. I listen to advices and I read all my comments. This will be my August monthly view. I'm going to take the July out to help me plan when all my stuff is due up here. Instead of me going back and looking it up, I'm just going to go back to my July because the due date and the payment date has not changed. My rent is always on the first of the month. I think that's with everyone. And then Verizon is on the 4th. And that is on a Sunday, so they're probably going to take it on the Monday. But I am going to write it on the actual day that it is due. And then my next payment on there is my life insurance, which is due on the 7th. And then after that, I have Apple Pay, Apple Storage, for all the Apple devices we have at homeschool. Half of our book is digital, and we use notes for that. So I need a lot of storage to have all those books on there. So I have my Apple on there, and I also have my Discover credit card that is due also on this 10. Okay, and then the next thing on there is my propane, not propane, my natural gas for heating and cooking. That is Atmos, and that is due on the 12th. And then my electric bill, which is Ambit, is due on the 14th. BIT. And then the 16th is when my Navy Federal credit card is due. And then the next day after that, my Capital One. I have two Capital One cards. So my Capital One, and then my Lowe's account. Okay, and then on the 21st, my second Capital One. I'm gonna put one up here. So one, number 2 is due. And then we have Prime that comes on the last day of the month. That's gonna be the 30th. I have Amazon Prime. My 4-year-old have to watch if you give a mouse a cookie. So yeah. So they're on the bottom right here. This is what my financial goal for the month. My last budget for July, I was focused on right here. I was focused on the troops emergency holiday, and then throughout when I wrote this down, when I started planning, I decided to focus on my emergency fund and my troop fee. But after reading some comments in my post and people telling me it'd be a good idea to save for my emergency fund, just because for my troop fee, there's not a late fee on there, and I'm allowed to pay it throughout a year. I am going to start focusing on my emergency fund, especially somebody pointing out with what happened with my car. My AC went out, and I was lucky enough to have child support that month, but that is not a guaranteed thing. So I need to make sure I start building an emergency fund. That was something that happened. I'm able to pay for it, and I'm not, waiting for child support or waiting weeks at a time to fix the air conditioner when we live in West Texas. So for the month of August, what I'm going to focus on is emergency fund. So any kind of extra money I have, I'm going to put that in emergency fund. So just going to do emergency. How do I? Okay, so that's all I'm going to work on here for August. Oh Lord Jesus, I think my pen just died. Yep, it just ran out of juice. No. Okay, let me go find another pen. So, yes, so that worked. Okay. So now this is what my actual budget planner look like. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put in my income. With my check right now, I am half ahead, like half month ahead. I don't know if that makes sense. My last check from July and my first check from August, that's what I'm using to pay my August bill. Because my goal is to be a month ahead to be able to pay my bill. And when I started out a budget, I was able to get half a month ahead, and I decided to just keep it that way until I have more money. I'll save up to be able to do a month ahead. So we are going to put my income on there. So I got my first check from that's going to cover. I got my last check from July, so I know the amount for that. So that is going to be my income one. Okay, and that was 1760.52. 1760.52. And that is also going to be the actual amount because I don't need to project about it because I already know it. 52. Okay, so that is my income one. And then for income two, that is usually my first check of that month. For income two, I didn't work that much because I work a whole week and then I took a week off because Abigail went on a mission trip. So I am going to just budget in like $1,000 for that because I didn't expect that much from it. For my rest of my income, I'm going to put child support on there. This is not something that's guaranteed because I received it last month, but before then I didn't receive it for a lot of months. So I usually just put it on there just in case I get it that month. If not, that is okay. So I'm just going to put my child support, and this is going to be what I am as what is ordered for me to get, and that is just 1,500. That is my projected amount. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add all of this up to give me the total of my projected amount. And I need to go find a calculator because, yeah, hold on, I'll be right back. So I am going to add 1760.51. Is that 52? 52 plus 1,000 plus 1,500. This is my projected amount that I could get if I get child support. Refer back to my July because I did forget something last month and I realized it in the May check-in. So I'm just going to use that to kind of help me further along. So the first thing and then I have Ambit. I'm just going to fill this out and come back with the video. Okay, so this is all my bills I have. In here, I'm just going to write what I'm projected to happen, what I want to happen with the amount. Well, for my rent, it's $580. So I'm going to just write that in there. That is the actual amount. That is what I'm going to put budget in there. And then my ambient energy for last month was 178.54. So I'm going to budget 180 in. This pen is dying as well. And then for my Verizon, it is 148.42. I'm going to budget 149. I need to get rid of Verizon. It has horrible service. I'm always losing service and it just, I don't know. But, and then my car fuel, last month I budgeted in 360 and I ended up using, last month I budgeted in 360. I don't know if you can read this colorful paper. I budgeted in 360 and I ended up spending 486. So I'm going to bump it up to $400. I figured out why that was high because I was wondering why that was high to force something. And then I remember I drove my mom to Dallas because she's flying out of the country and we used my car. So I drove her to Dallas and then back. She did give me money for fuel, but she gave it to my brother, my little brother, and he did not give it to me. And I used my fuel card because I'm just used to it just in there. So that's why that went up. So even if I took what she gave back, because I think she gave like $150, that brought me down and I still in my budget, but I didn't get that money from him because he's my little brother. And that's what little brother does. So I'm leaving that in there because that was a loss for me. But I'm going to still budget 360 in because now I realize why I had that extra amount in there. Okay, and then for my prom, it is 7 something. So I budget $8 in. And then the next one is my household. For my household, last month I budgeted 50 in and I only used $20. And the reason for that was I only needed dish soap. This month I think I do need laundry detergent. So I'm gonna budget $100 in and hoping to only use $50. I'm trying to like let me see, switch to less toxic material, but it's so expensive, y'all. So I'm probably just gonna end up going to Sam's and buying laundry detergent from that because it works great for my clothes and the kids' clothes. So it's not like it doesn't work. I'm just trying to move away from having a lot of extra harsh chemical on our clothes and on our skin that go into our system. So yeah. So the next thing on there is therapy, and that is 120. Okay, and then life insurance is $15. And then my Atmos last month for my Atmos energy, I budgeted $80 in, and I'm just using 53.51. So I'm going to budget $60 in, and then for my Apple it was $9.99. I'm pretty sure, so I'm going to budget $10 in, and then for my kids allowance, I did not give my kids any allowance. I didn't budget any allowance in for my kids last month, but I ended up giving my oldest daughter $50 because she went on a mission trip and she needed money to buy snacks whenever to stop at different location. Yeah. So even though I gave her $50, but then she also had one of my credit cards for emergency, and she actually did use that for $10, 10.50 something I think. Um, so in all, her allowance last month she had like $61 or something. So I'm going to budget allowance in because I had this about to come up in case need to buy a gift, and this is the way to get it. So let me see. So I'm going to budget like $60 in and try to split that up with them and try not to spend anything else. So my food is the thing I spent a lot of my money on just because I have 4 kids that eat and we raise them with eating healthy. So I still have to continue buying healthy food, and I tried to not, and it just didn't eat, and it kept complaining there was no food in the house. So I have to go back to our healthy budget, which it is kind of expensive. So last month my goal was to only spend $800 on food. I ended up spending 11 13 I'm sorry 11.33 and 76 cents. So that was not even close to my 800. So I'm going to bump it up. I don't know why. I'm just going to do $900 to see if I can do that. That will give me $225 a week to shop because I was hitting the two something when I was shopping just the last 2 weeks. That's when I kind of fall off the wagon. We are going to budget $900 for food. I can do I think I can survive with $1,000. I just want to go as low as possible and try to push a boundary and see what I can, what I'm able to do. So on the bottom up here, I'm just going to write down what my expenses and stuff is going to be with and without child support. Basically what I did down here, I really like what I did down there. These little stickers I had after I used it, my children got into it. Let's just say I found so many stickers on the walls. I did that up here to show. So I already did that up here to show what my total income will be with child support. So I'm just going to write that right here. Okay, so that's 4,000, and then without child support, that is going to be 2,000. See, that's 1, 2. It's going to be 2,760.52. Okay, so now I'm going to take my expenses away to see what I'm going to have left with. So I'm going to add up all my expenses, and then go from there. Let me see. Okay, so for my expenses, I have 580 plus 180 plus 149 plus 360 plus 8 plus 100 plus 120 plus 15 plus 60 plus 10 plus 60 plus 9. 1642, I messed up. So 1642 plus 9, 1, 2, 900. So my total expenses is going to be 2542. Okay, one of the advice that I got from the comment was for me to use extra money and move it over to my next month bill, which makes sense, and I decided to utilize that, and now it just confirmed that that will keep me out of the red, because if I don't have child support in this month bill, I'll have like $200 left over. But things happen. If my grocery budget is above 9 something, I could end up in the red. So I'm going to take what I'm going to do. I haven't paid this credit card off yet. I think I'm just going to not worry about the credit card. Just put the bare minimum payment that I'm required to put on there and pay it, and just worry about that later, and just focus on staying afloat for the month. So I decided I'm not going to pay this credit card off, which is going to give me an extra $472, and I'm going to just roll it over for this month bill. I don't know if that makes sense. So that would just give me a little bit extra buffer room. And if I don't use it, I'm just going to transfer it to my emergency fund, which I'm trying to build right now. It would be great to not have any kind of debt, but right now it's just me trying to stay afloat and just trying to survive. I think it's safe for me to just focus on emergency fund. That way, if something happens, it can release a lot of stress off if I have the money there, instead of trying to figure it out and trying to run up the credit card bill again. So in my emergency fund, I already have $216.43 in there. So I'm gonna take this off a little bit. That was easy to see. So I'm just gonna write that here on this side. So the more I mess with this planner, the more idea I have how to make it better for me. So beginning. So I have $216.43 in there. Okay, so what I'm gonna budget up here is to have at least $300 in there, because I already have the extra 400. And then for my troop fee, I'm also going to not put that for my troop fee at all. This money, I'm gonna remove it from troop and put it into curriculum for my kids, or extracurricular activity for my kids. I homeschool, if that, you don't know that, and I have to buy everything. We don't get any kind of help from the state, which is fine, because we don't want them into our life. So I need to start buying curriculum, especially for Madison, because she's going to a different level. But Sunny is going to the level Madison, and so I already have the material. So I'm going to take this $200 instead of doing it from troop fee, and try to spend $150 on curriculum that she needs. Yeah. So I'm gonna have a video on how I homeschool for cheap on my channel pretty soon. That will help you as to why I'm gonna spend $150 when other people spend like $1,000 or more on there. So I'm gonna budget $300 in here to try to put that in there. That will give me $500, and then whatever extra I have, I would try to break it down either into paying for kids' school stuff, or moving it and paying for the kids' troop fee, or just moving it all to the emergency fund. But I don't know yet. Okay, and then for my credit cards, since I'm not going to pay the USAA off, it's going to be the same. So it's just going to be USAA, and then I have Capital One, number 1, Capital, number 2, and then Navy Federal, and then Discover. Okay, the other thing is, when I was filling this out, I put on here that I have a Lowe's credit card. I do have a Lowe's credit card. When I move in here, I need a washer and dryer. So I applied for a Lowe's credit card, and I put the washer and dryer on there. But then somebody from my church blessed me with the whole price of the wash and dryer. So instead of me just going and paying that off, I put it in a separate account. I created an account from Capital One, put it in there, and links my payment towards that account. So that is giving me a credit history instead of just paying a lump sum, and it doesn't create any kind of credit history. So that's why I don't have Lowe's in my bill, because that money is already there. But I like to put it on my to-do list, that way I can remember to go in there and make sure it takes it out. That way I don't get interest, because that is a pretty high interest as well. Okay, so for my Capital One, so for my USAA, I haven't gone in there this month to see what the total is for with all the interest, but last month in there was $473.28, and the interest shouldn't add on until around the due date, which is, I don't have that on here. Why don't I have my USA on here? Okay, so I need to go look at that and see when that is due. Due on August 20th. But interest not gonna add on there until then, if I'm doing that right. So I'm just gonna put the amount for that hat on there. So I'm gonna put a line here. Gonna do beginning, and then interest. Oh, I should have made that smaller. I'll just put interest on this side. But we are going to put 473.28, 1,438.99, 2,376.56, 1,000, 1,010, 19. Oh Lord, and then $1,418. Okay, so then I'm not even gonna worry about the rates. I'm not gonna do payments. So I'm just gonna take that off and put rates. That is gonna be 31, 15, 29, 9, 9, 28, 9, 9, 18, and 28.24. Okay, so that is my credit cards debt. And then, so I'm going to come back up here. Now that I know that, I'm going to try to figure out what that is. So if I stick to my budget, okay, so if I stick to my budget, and this is my expenses, I'm going to subtract that from 2760.52. So that means I'll have $218.52 left over if I don't have any kind of child support. If I get child support, that is 4260.52 minus 2542. So that will give me have left over $1,718.52. Okay, so that what that would be. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching this video. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching this video, and have a blessed day.